Hello, you wonderful Rise of Kingdoms players out there. This is Dragothien here. Today we're going to do our bets for the second week of Osiris playoffs, and I'm going to start off with the realm of Anubis because we did that second last week. And I got to tell you guys, we hit on all the biggies. We hit on all the good stuff. Now, I've been digging a little through these matchups on the realm of Anubis, and I got to tell you, it's a little weak. It's a little bit of a weak pool. This time around, the bets seem to be on point with the people who likely are to win. However, we do have a couple that could prove to be good to bet on. So, first off, really quickly, just looking at some of these matchups here, the top one looks to be like one you might want to do, but I would steer clear of it. The spread here is just not worth it in my opinion, and these were pretty sound. This was a pretty sound beating here on the left side, and E8IY beat IA53 barely, but IA53 didn't necessarily decimate their other opponents either. So to me, that one's more of a toss-up. V636 I think is going to win this whole thing. It doesn't make sense for me to bet against them. Maybe 50 coins if you want to throw a flyer out there. I just don't see V636 being taken down by Axe, although you never know what's going to happen any given Sunday, right? And then we start to get to the third one, CN44 versus Hive. CN44 is very good. They have a 3 billion alliance, matchmaking power, and they've beaten some solid opponents here and some soundly. However, Hive showed themselves last week, so I'm going to put a proper bet on Hive. Again, I'm not saying that Hive is necessarily going to destroy CN44 or vice versa. I'm just saying that it's worth the bet. It's 2-to-1 odds. I'll put 200 bucks on here, or 200 coins on here. I'm in lines mode, guys. I'm gonna put 200 coins on here, and that should give me about a 400 to 500 coin return by the time everything's said and done. And again, that's good. I mean, you're gonna get your coins back plus some more. And the value is there to be able to maybe make that bet, and if you win, you're in good shape. I would steer clear of the zero matchup. I think this is accurately prize pooled. It's probably a little bit of a toss-up. However, zero probably has a little bit of the edge because of the experience. CAF versus 593K. This was one of the other ones I was thinking about maybe betting on. The Citius Altius Fortius alliance did very well, although in a losing effort, but it was against PCEH, which looks to be a very strong alliance too. However, this alliance over here, 593K, took a pretty good wallop from P636, but P636 is also a very good alliance. So I'm going to put a little bit of a bet on here too, maybe 150, just because, again, I think that there's some value here, but again, look, it's about a 3-to-1 value or so. So you're not going to get too much from it, but putting a few coins in there is not going to hurt because the opportunity's there. Now, ADVS looks very strong. If you look at their wins, they're against decent opponents, and they're sound wins. E8IY, again, their wins, although they do have the last 3 wins here, they're not nearly as in convincing fashion. I think ADVS is going to win that matchup there just based on their matchups and prior and how they executed. SE44 versus 1590. This is the other one that I think we should bet on. It's about a 2-to-1. However, I think I'm actually going to proper bet. I'm going to proper bet on these guys. I think what I'd like to do is I'm going to... You know what? Not this one. Not this one. I want to do a different one with a proper bet. So we're going to do 200 on here as well. That one's done. Let's see. This one's an even one. It's not worth the risk. There's no reward there. 64 PL versus 65 EM. Now, 65 EM lost against 60 UN last week, and 64 PL did win pretty decently against GW. So, again, I usually look to the past performances as well. So 64 PL is on a 3-win streak, and I'd say 1 out of the 3 are in convincing fashion. I'm sorry, 1 out of 3 are very tight, where the other 2 are in pretty convincing fashion. And then 65 EM did lose their most recent, but before that they were in tight ones as well. So This might be another one to maybe put 150 coins on. Not that many. 150 coins on. Just to see if something sticks for 65 EM. But nothing crazy. There's one in here that I'm looking for that is a really good one to put a good bet on because of the value. It's not the NN one. That one's pretty even, and I think NN will win that. Buns versus 58 HK. Buns lost last week against NN. They need to win this to stay in the playoffs. So I think they're going to bring everything they've got against 58 HK, who also won their matchup last week against 623. So this is going to be a good matchup. But again, the value isn't there. It's not even 2-to-1 odds. So you're not going to get much return, and the risk is very high. Now, 701 versus RMB. 701 lost against Zero, who is not a scrub by any means, and 68 RB beat RMB as well. Now, big thing here, it's a pretty significant difference in matchmaking power, which means that 701 is going to need to do some healing during Arc, and that's something I don't usually throw up the chance. However, the odds are pretty good, 3 to 4 to 1. If you want to bet on that one, I would bet on 701, obviously, but I don't feel comfortable with either one of those teams to put some coins down. P6636 versus PCEH. This is pretty much going to be the match that you want to watch, but it's not the match that you want to bet on because they're both really solid teams going up against each other, and it's even odds, so it's just not going to be any good for you. Christmas Miracle versus Kicksta. Kicksta won. Christmas Miracle lost last week in pretty convincing fashion against IAM, which is also called Boo now, I think. And KKSA won by basically an arc length. But previous matches before that, pretty resounding wins, whereas Christmas Miracle were a little closer. I think the odds are the way they should be, so I wouldn't bet on that one either. Now, Boo versus AA, I think, again, this is one of those ones where I think I guess Boo now is going to win. AA, Alpha Aces, they look like they can do something, but I don't know if that's necessarily enough to take out IAM. I think they're a major player. And then 74 UF versus Rix. The prize pool is very even again, guys. It's not so mind-blowing that you absolutely have to bet on that particular thing. So I personally would steer clear of this one as well. Both of these teams lost last week, but 74 UF was very close to winning versus Axe, whereas Rix, again, against V636, these guys are the powerhouse. I think this is like the JWM of... V636 is like the JWM of the realm of Anubis kind of situation. Yeah, almost 3.7 billion power, which is very strong. There's one in here, and let me see if I can find it. There's one that I actually wanted to kind of properly bet on. Like, proper bet. I think it's actually this one. 593K versus CAF. I think this is the one that I actually wanted to bet, like, a decent chunk on. Because it's 3 to 1, and I think it's more even from a matchup perspective than the prize pool indicates. I think SE44 is likely to win this one, and it's only a 2 to 1 odds. Although 1590 surprised last week against Hive, so that's very good. And Hive again needs to win this week, or they're likely to be eliminated from the playoffs. And CN44 is a very strong opponent as well. So I've bet as much as I want to on Hive, I think. However, this one's the one. So I want to bet a little more on 593K versus CAF, I think. And again, this is strictly because of the line. It has nothing to do with me thinking that 593K is better than CAF or vice versa. It's about the money, guys. It's about the coins, baby. You know, it's about the coins. So that's what we're doing. I'm going to go ahead and place I've already got 150. I'm going to do a total of 1,500 on this. So I need 593K to really pull it through for me. I don't see resounding wins here, but P636 is a strong opponent, and they put up a good fight. Also, they only have 10 reserves versus the 15 over here. So from a power perspective, I think it's relatively close. And CAF lost to a lesser powered alliance last week in PCEH. So I feel like my best money bet is going to be here. Fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed. I'm going to also do the Realm of Horus right after this one, and I'm going to post it later today so you guys have both to do today, depending on which realm you are in. I hope this is going to be helpful for you guys. You got to pull for me on this 593K bet. This is probably the biggest bet we've done so far this season, and I hope that you have enjoyed, and it's going to help you out. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers. Have a good one. And take care.